Back in Action. Wir sind auf dem Weg zum Hafen und uns den Captain vorstellen und Waren schmuggeln zu wollen. Ich denke mal, wir nehmen das einfach mit unserem Schiff da mit. Beim Hafenviertel. Das wird ja am ehesten noch Sinn machen. Winkst du mir zu?
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on Tier 3D? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master. I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
Noch einiges zu erledigen. Ich glaube, man kann vorher gar nicht abreisen. Bevor wir uns nicht mehr um die Mission gekümmert haben. Was ich letztes Mal noch gucken wollte, ist, ob durch die Rufveränderung... Ne, die sind immer noch verdächtig alles.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavia and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Okay, weitere Aufgabe in Schiffsjunge finden.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers?
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Weil wir sie alle essen wollen.
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
Naja, ich darf da rein wahrscheinlich, wenn ich den Jungen finde.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
So, und jetzt noch die Güter.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel...
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
Meine Güte.
Be back soon, Captain.
Wir sind halt schon ziemlich kriminelle Herrschaften.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Ach, unser wunderschönes Schiff. Also nicht unseres, nur das Schiff, womit wir rüberfahren werden. So, um welche Mission sollten wir uns am besten kümmern? Erst das Hafenamt oder die Nauten? Vertreibe die Wachen im Lagerhaus. Untersuche das Verschwinden des nautischen Offiziers. Ja, wir kümmern uns erst um den Offizier, weil das das Einzige ist, was links ist.
The hiding place of this smuggler is filthy. But perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Das Tagebuch des Schleusers. Ich habe 2 neue Kunden. Sie wollen nach Al-Saad reisen. Und die Inquisitoren sind ihnen auf den Fersen, was meine Arbeit nicht einfacher machen wird. Ich denke, ich kann sie unauffällig auf ein Schiff bringen. Aber wir müssen vorsichtig sein und ich hoffe, dass sie geduldig und ruhig sein werden. Ich werde sie in einem Lagerhaus hinter dem Hafenamt verstecken, in das sich die Inquisitoren niemals hineinwagen werden. Du bist doch ein Freund von dem Verschwundenen.
Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
I need to be going.
Könnte ja trotzdem in der Nähe vom Kanal sein. So, ich muss den Hund übrigens einmal kurz beruhigen, weil der draußen was gehört hat. Und war hier am Rummeckern. Und am Schaben, das ist übrigens das Lustigste, wenn der Hund bellt und dabei mit den Pfoten so schabt.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man, who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof, gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you, the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
Nope. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Thank you, Lauro. I need to be going.
Strange story this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
Vielleicht ist er kein echter Schiffsjunge. Das kann ja auch sein. Vielleicht hat er angeheuert, um einfach nur runterzukommen von der Insel, weil als Passagier nichts mehr möglich war. Räumt hier eigentlich niemand den Flur mal auf? Quest abschließen. In Greedfall kann ein Quest meist auf verschiedene Arten gelöst werden, beziehungsweise abgeschlossen werden. Die Sardet hat mehrere Eisen im Feuer. Raffinesse, Überredungskunst, Intuition, Korruption, das Fertigen von Gegenständen auf dem Werktisch. Das alles sind Wege, die dir zur Verfügung stehen, um deine Ziele zu erreichen. Um dich in diesem Gebiet zu verbessern, verteilst du Punkte im entsprechenden Talentbaum oder trägst Ausrüstung, die Brune bietet. Drohung und der Kampf sind weitere probate Optionen, wenn deine Feinde nicht empfänglich für deine Talente sind.
Tavern Keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for a Nort. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Nort, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age, hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes, quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Repariere den Schaden, den er verursacht hat, oder zahle aus Gold. Die Metalldübel haben wir zwischendurch gefunden.
The furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
Haben wir schon.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
No, I haven't been able to sort them out.
In that case, you need to pay me, sir.
I regret I don't have the sum you are asking for.
Either you repair them, or you reimburse their cost. Or I keep what I know about your cousin to myself.
That's ridiculous. He could reimburse you easily. He's quite a rich man.
Perhaps, but a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And as for promises, I've heard enough to fill an ocean.
Very well. I will see what I can scavenge in that case. I need to be off. Farewell.
Muss ich ihn jetzt wirklich bezahlen? Nein, ich kann es doch immer noch reparieren, oder?
And there you have it. You'd never guess they were once broken.
Ah, jetzt muss ich ihn wirklich nicht mehr entschädigen. Und lustigerweise ist der Kartenspiel an der Seite von der Schenke und nicht irgendwie an einem wirklichen Tisch.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
Yes, just like new. Or nearly.
That does indeed look like fine work. You know what you're doing.
I would hope. Can you tell me where I can find my cousin now?
Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint. Anything else?
Ja, Leute, die gut eintrinken können, sind immer die nettesten.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Vor allem für einen Wirt.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Ich finde es schön, dass die untereinander also sich über die Sachen unterhalten, die wir so entdecken, beziehungsweise wo man halt dann drüber so quatscht, ne? Also dass halt wirklich eine Interaktion in der Gruppe entsteht. Obwohl das wird erst seine Stärke wirklich später ausspielen. Ob das gut oder schlecht funktioniert. Oh, es wird eine Arena später geben. Reisewagen, Ober- zu Untergeschoss. Generelle Schnellreise. Verbrennt hier Ketzer oder Leichen? Sowohl als auch.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Und du sprichst jetzt mit der Hand? Nicht mit der Hand, mit der Wand.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Ich habe ja gesagt, das ist nicht einfach ein mittelloser Junge.
What was your son doing on a Nort ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Norts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact? It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Norts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Aber warum sollten die dann kämpfen gegeneinander?
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiry yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
With respect, my lady.
Ach ja, my lady. Habt ihr irgendwas, was ich euch noch klauen kann? Zum Beispiel Bilder, die halt Bilder zeigen von der Inneneinrichtung hier.
Might I help you, sir?
I need to be going. Farewell.
Ach, sie kann mir auch keine neuen Informationen geben und stellt sich wieder in die Ecke. Sie hat wahrscheinlich irgendwas Schlimmes getan und muss sich jetzt schämen. Lauf mal in die Richtung, wo mein Cousin sein soll. Ist doch mein Cousin, ne? Der neue Botschafter wird von der Stadt auf der Insel. Aber Zwangsrekrutierung könnte wirklich sein, dass sie ihn betrunken gemacht haben und dementsprechend er deshalb angeheuert hatte. Das würde nicht erklären, warum die Freunde bei den Nauten sind. Also warum sollte er denn... Achso, ja okay, sie könnten natürlich lügen, ne? Und sagen, ja, wir sind ja eigentlich mit ihm befreundet und so weiter. Und ist einfach nur gelogen. Lügenbaron. Hat die gekotzt? Geil.
Who I am. Open up, imbeciles! I have a ship to catch!
That vulture of a tavern master was right. It is Constantine's voice. It's coming from the floor above.
It sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting company. Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.
Ja, wenn wir uns dran vorbeischleichen können, dann würde ich das auch in Betracht ziehen. Tja, aber mein Cousin werden wir dann das nächste Mal befreien in der nächsten Folge von Greedfall. Bis dahin, Schöle, euer Imperator.